Welcome in this episode of Suba Ki Charcha, as it has been mentioned several times in my episode. I am Res Kumar Misra, hereby quoting and sharing my own experiences before you. A definite inner self is going to be shared with all of you, and how to march towards the gradual development of consciousness and thinkability present in the bottom of the heart. Human beings are made not by the solid formations of the concrete or any cemented material, but their beings are made with the slabs of emotions, subjective analysis and subjective understandability of situation, and are able to inculcate in themselves what has been said, the values, morality and ethics, and those qualities have to be developed gradually from the bottom of the heart, from the thinkability of the inner self. In historical time span, from the Paleolithic time up to now, lifespan of human beings more or less the same, varying all types of development in the medical effort, and the medication and superior type of treatment has increased the longevity of human beings. But the shaping of mind and all types of things are the same as was found in Homo erectus, Homo sapiens, that is called Gyani Manva in historical time span. So we have to develop our senses by doing subjective analysis of the surroundings and development of the inner consciousness, by enriching ourselves, by making beat by beat progress of morality and inner self. In this regard, the teachings of the great scholars which is present before us, like the prophets of several religions and the founders of the faith, annotators of those holy books who were seen or compiled by scholars times to times in each and every continent, and the settlement of the civilization and the civilizational march. This is being seen and understood by coming generations, and generations after generations, the kind of interpolations are also present. So the analysis of those holy scriptures and holy understandability in the light of the surroundings and present situation is the first step to advance the morality and values present in the human self. And the self is enriched by the great study of those holy scriptures. Perhaps in all religions have been written or theoretically coming down from traditions, like we see in Hindu religion and Shastric discipline of Bhagavad Gita, in which the Lord himself manifested and harangued before Arjuna in Kurukshetra field, in which he said, Imam vivasvate yogam proktavahanam abhyam vivasvamanave praha munirichvakve abravit evam parampara praptam imam rajasyo vidu sa kalaneha mahata yogo nashta parantapa sa evaya mayati adya yoga prokta puratana bhaktavasi me sakha cheti rahasyam tadutamam. It does mean that the first harangue of the knowledge or Yoga Shastra was given before the sun god by the Lord himself, and from the sun god his son Ishvaku was then harangued by the sun god, and from Ishvaku to Manu, the first man and progenitor of the human beings, and from that time with tradition it continued to come down from descendants to descendants, and still it is prevalent, but with the passing of times and traditions some malformations are also there, and to re-establish those ideals in Yoga Shastra, I hereby rang before you and teach you, my dear friend or my dear Sakha, Partha. And so in field of Kurukshetra, the Lord himself re-established Yoga Shastras and knowledge of yoga, which is seen in Bhagavatism. In the same way, the kind of harang was made before the public, or the teachings in Gospel, Matthew, Mark, John, and Luke, and the discipline of moral subjectivity and moral enhancement propounded by Jesus Christ and his disciples amid the masses, and the masses were there to spread it far and wide. And the pagans who were there completely sunk in malformations and hypocrisy, undertook the situation of what has been defined by Jesus Christ in the Gospels, preached by those great teachers, codified in Pentateuch, and still available in the New Testament. The same way in the Arabian Peninsula, great prophet came and ran before the people and preached his teachings. And the heaven-sent book, the Holy Quran, is still available. And so the vast populace understood the situation for the re-establishment of the faith. And the same way, Confucius, Lao Tzu, and other teachers in Chinese subcontinent preached before the people to re-establish the morality in them. So time to time the downfall of teachings occur, and due to these occurrences, several times human beings are forced to understand and forced to make themselves, save themselves by the availability of the knowledge and availability of the situation, availability of the surroundings, the definite circumstances and the availability of surroundings saved the consciousness of human beings time to time. And we have to study those teachings of forefathers and to reinstate in our heart those things which are available, which are there to re-manifest and to make the human beings a solid formation in the form of the great human beings. There is need of reinstatement of those ideals, those understandings, those teachings, which definitely created great Buddha amongst us. Siddhartha Gautama, who was there, who took Vairagya and deserted his home to seek jnana or complete knowledge and cessation of suffering, propounded the Four Noble Truths, in which he propounded Chatvari Arjani Satyani, Four Noble Truths, in which the concept of the presence of suffering, causes of suffering, cessation of suffering, the roots on by which the cessation of suffering can be done, propounded, and kind of the disciplined way of life and propoundation of the middle path was done. So we understand that the availability of those teachings are nothing but the regeneration of human beings from the self and cessation of Trishna or fancy and freak present in the heart of man, the mindset of man and human beings. And to recreate those morality, these teachers came upon the earth, and we have to understand that the compassionate human beings are the better than the non-compassionate. And the people who are here to see has to create the people have to create the world which is full of consciousness and moral values, taking roots from those teachings and those understandings which were given by those great scholars, philosophers, path guiders and friends of humanity. And definitely by those teachings it can be redempted again. Nowadays the onset of the materialistic tendencies has created a vacuum in case of morality and moral values. People are rushing before and behind the material progress and continuously marred by the temptation of life and living all types of sacerdotal and sanctum of life, deserting those ideals pressed by great prophet, path guiders, friends, true philosophers and guides of humanity, and they are rushing before and behind those ideals which created the pageant of materialistic world and completely hand in glove with those the Western thinking of materialistic enhancement. I'm not talking about all the Western thinkings in which the philosophical upgradation, philosophical enrichment and gospels of the great Pentateuch are also the part. I am talking about those people who are seeing only the materialistic progress and completely hand in glove with those ideals. So the complete interblend in the hand of the materialistic tendencies have created a vacuum of morality and moral values in within the bottom of the heart of the humanity. And so those tendencies should be stopped, and if not fully stopped, should be curtailed and should be stopped by moral values in developing in the inner sense of man by taking rebirth of and regeneration of compassion, helping attitude, friendliness, compassion to all animalia kingdom, compassion to each and every person, side by side, rooting out the evil thinkers, evil doers, and by making balance on the scale kind of the development of humanity in a state of affairs in the life of man can be done. And this is to be done, this is to be followed, and the consciousness of man has to be maintained. If we surrender ourselves to the evil forces, the destruction is there. If we are not going to surrender, there will be continuous war with them. So violent attitude to stop the progress of the evildoers is rightful in all scriptures, in all faiths, in all religions. So development of consciousness is to stop the evil forces and to maintain the humility, charity, sanctity, constant consciousness of mind. And so the human beings have to think in this direction again and again and frequently to understand what has to be done and what has to be followed. And the following these steps, redemption of humanity is possible, and this possibility it has to be clearly guided by deep thinking with compassionate attitude towards the self, towards the animal kingdom, towards the existing world, towards the nature, believing in solid formation that divine unfoldment is there. We are the mere iota of natural manifestation, and having innerness, knowledgelessness, complete faith in death and disaster end of human life, complete faith in narrowness of mind, complete faith in knowledgelessness of human brain, complete faith in God, complete faith in helping attitude to humanity and to all. And by these ways, the cessation of suffering can be done. This is Sara and substances of the teachings of all the prophets of the world. So I think the regeneration of morality, thinking and rethinking again and again, can give you solace, can give you moral development, can maintain you as human being, and can contribute to the civilization under which we are going on, can contribute all things very much accelerating to ourselves. And so thank you for watching me. If you are able to like, please like. If you are there watching my short, please like it, comment it and share it as far as possible. And to exhort me, it is necessary for me to support me, and your support is very valuable, and so continue this. And so thank you again. Namaskar.